The market has plummeted at the close today amid fears of a coronavirus pandemic. It marks the worst week since the global financial crisis, with the ASX losing more than $200 billion. For more, we're now joined by the presenter of The Business, Rachel Papazoni. Rachel, just take us through how the ASX ended today and the week.
So, as you said, a shocking day for the market, a shocking week for the market. All the indicators were there last night, early this morning, that we would have another woeful day on the ASX because we follow what happens on Wall Street. Wall Street closing down more than 4%, and that saw the ASX open down 3.5% this morning. There were some moments throughout the day where perhaps the losses weren't as steep, but by the end of the session we were down 3.5%. It's the worst day that we've had on the ASX since September 2015. For the week, down 10%. Wall Street, similar losses. Global markets are significantly down. It's the worst week we've had since the global financial crisis. We've seen all sectors lose value today. You'd be lucky to find any companies that actually added some value during today's trading session. We're yet to see, of course, what will happen globally tonight. European markets and then, of course, Wall Street will open while we're tucked up in bed. But the expectation now is that there is no expectation. We're in unknown territory. We've got a panel on the program tonight discussing this, discussing where we've been this week and what we can perhaps think might happen in the future. That includes Stephen Koukoulas, an independent economist, and Roger Montgomery, who runs fund management out of Sydney here. And I asked them, are we at global financial crisis 2.0? And this is some of what they said.
The GFC was a banking crisis. It lasted a long time, and we saw a really deep and protracted global recession that took many years to get out of. It was a really severe problem. Now, at this stage, of course, we don't know how long the coronavirus will last, how long it will linger through the global system and through the global financial markets. But if they do find a cure, if they are containing it at some stage in the coming weeks and months, hopefully it'll be a blip and a nasty one, but it won't be an enduring thing like the GFC.
Roger, your thoughts? Is this a GFC moment?
No, I don't think so. Having said that, though, the panic can be much worse than the pandemic on markets, so that's important to remember. But unless we see economic activity start to change the appetite for debt refinancing, then I think we're going to be okay. It is temporary. This too will pass. And I think markets will bounce pretty strongly when it does. Having said that, though, it could be quite deep and in the interim.
Lots to talk about when the RBA meets next week.
That's right. So they have their monthly meeting on Tuesday, Kirsten. We haven't seen any movement from the RBA for a couple of months. Of course, they take a break over January. February, there was no change. With this growing uncertainty, the pressure is on central banks, not just here, but globally. A lot of discussion of what the US Fed will do, a lot of discussion about what the RBA will do on Tuesday. We'll also get GDP numbers out next week on Wednesday that shows growth for the economy. That's looking back, of course, seeing what the numbers have shown for the last quarter. But there'll be an indication, I guess, as to the starting point and to what we can perhaps estimate this first quarter for 2020 calendar year will look like.
It'll also cover part of the bushfires, the initial part of the bushfire season.
Exactly, which has also had an impact on the country's economy. A lot of discussions as well as to what this means for the budget surplus as well. So we'll go through all those issues on The Business tonight.
Look out for you then. Thanks, Rachel.